UFC 300 main event. We're talking about it again and again and again. But hey, everybody's curious. Everybody wants to know now. There's been a post from Izzy that seems to allude to the fact that he's coming back and he's headlining 300. I'm going to pull that up as well just so people can see it. But yeah, so now it looks like still no official announcement has been made. People have been waiting all week. They were waiting last week, still nothing. But it seems like this might be happening. Where do you stand on this? Do you have any thoughts? Like, have you heard something similar, or what do you think?
Dude, I hear, going through Instagram, going through social media, it's like I hear all these different predictions. And, unfortunately, a podcast, I wanted to send it to you, I meant to send it to you, got called out yesterday because they were making like, oh, it's official. Like, this is the matchup for this, and this is the matchup. And it ended up all being bogus and a hoax. So, really, right now, it's turning into almost like politics, man. People are just saying outlandish shit that some things are true, some things aren't true. Nobody knows what's true, but we continue to tune in. It's, I Adesanya's a great fighter, man. But the way Dana White is talking, like, oh my God, wait till we announce the main event. This is going to be crazy. It's going to be bonkers. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to be like, wow, that's that crazy. Adesanya's coming back after a
That's
fucking
true.
lay. Hasn't done anything to regain title contention. I mean, he was a great champion. He tried to go up a weight class and lost. He ended up losing his belt. And again, I say this every fucking show, and I'll continue to say it. I'm not speaking out of disrespect. I'm
Right.
just from a business standpoint. Adesanya, obviously, dude, if he saw this, he'd probably want to whoop my ass, and that's fine. I have much respect for him as a fighter. But when Dana White's hyping this, oh my God, you guys are gonna be blown away, like that's a matchup that people are expecting. That's a matchup that, okay, cool. If that happens, all right, great. That's a good matchup. But nobody's gonna be blown away by that matchup. And the way Dana White's talking, oh, you're gonna be blown away. You're gonna be blown away. Like that's not the matchup that's gonna blow people away.
I mean, I kind of agree with you. I would be excited to see Izzy fight again. I am a fan, and I do think it would be cool. But you're right, that wouldn't blow me away. I'll tell you the only things that would like literally blow me away, and there's three. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on this too. So if you're talking about, oh my God, this is insane. Like I have to do this. I have to be a part. I want to go. Like make me even potentially want to go to the event. Though I probably won't do that because it's going to be astronomically expensive. But there's
Where in Vegas?
oh yeah, it's in Vegas. Yeah,
Yeah,
in April. So here are the three fights that I think would be where people would be like, oh my God, this is insane. One, which I don't think is going to happen. Although weirdly enough, I heard that the BMF title is off, but then I think now it's back on. I don't know what's going on with Justin Gaethje and Max Holloway, but it says even if you go on Google and just look at the UFC fights, it says canceled, but then it still shows it. I don't know if I don't know what was going on there. And then Dustin Poirier said his fight was off, but now it's back on. So I don't know. But one fight, if you're talking about Conor, even at this point, I don't know if I want to see Conor fight. Obviously, we all do. But I feel like the fight where people would be blown away to me would be something on the line. So, like Conor versus, I know people are talking about the 165 thing, but I think that's just a made up thing. I think that's just people trolling. But Conor versus Gaethje for the BMF belt would be very exciting to me. Number one. Number two, I think Strickland coming back and rematching DDP. I think that would actually blow people away because Strickland's become such a superstar. And then the third option, where it'd be like an oh my God moment, Habib returning. That's it. That's the only things I can think of that would blow people away. Like the talk about Brock Lesnar, I think is ridiculous. As people were saying Ronda Rousey coming back, or even what's her name? Amanda Nunes coming back. None of those would be like, oh my God. Habib coming back would be like an oh my God moment.
Yeah, so honestly, like any time, it's the thing. They've kind of used up Connor's star power. And he's not winning. He hasn't won a fight in a long time. So to me, and I'm not saying everyone's going to agree with this, but to me, anything that deals with Conor McGregor isn't an oh my God. Like there are
Mm.
matchups I want to see Conor. Yeah, I'd love to see Conor and Gaethje. But if I saw that, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, holy fuck, wow, this is. It's like Connor's lost like 5 fights in a row. He's coming back from a broken leg. Like he's not the same person he was. He's rich. His training probably isn't the same. His hunger definitely isn't the same. And I'm speaking from experience. Dude, the guy's worth $20 million, probably $50 million. Like, what does he have to do this for? He doesn't. So that doesn't intrigue me. I've heard speculation of Connor and Nate 3. I mean, these are matchups that I've thought about for over a year, man. That doesn't jump out at me.
I
Um,
agree.
uh, a Habib turnout. Now I did see. So I got a little stoned last night, actually really stoned, and I'm scrolling through Instagram, and the last couple weeks I've been seeing a lot of press, not MMA related, but George St. Pierre keeps popping up in my feed, and it's never happened before. And I've always followed him, but his name. I keep seeing his name, and I keep seeing pictures of him, and I'm thinking last night is what if George St. Pierre versus Habib at 185? Now
I mean
that
that.
would
Yeah.
blow everybody's mind. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it, but as like if we're talking about mind blowing announcements,
Yes, you're right. You're right.
we're not
That's
we're
it.
not talking about real. We're talking about mind blowing. George St. Pierre is the former middleweight champion, arguably to me the best MMA fighter in the history of the sport, well rounded wise, and especially at welterweight. Habib, says he's the best. They always talked about doing a grappling match. Fucking bring them both back at 185 and let the fans have some fun. Don't put it for anything. Just fucking have them fight, dude. And that would be an incredible headliner. Headliner number 2 that I want to see. That would blow my socks off. Leon Edwards versus Islam Makhachev. We've talked about
Yes.
this. That would
Yes.
be like, holy fuck, let's fucking go.
That would be, yes.
Like
You're right.
these are the way Dana White is talking about. Wait till we announce the main event. It's not going to be Sean Strickland versus Dricus. Like 90, or I wouldn't say 90, but more than probably 50% of the MMA population expects that matchup to happen sometime in the next 6 months or a year. That's not
Mm.
mind blowing. So I'm trying to think, especially when in my high state last night, like if I saw this on paper, where would I call my son and be like, holy shit, did you see this? That's like,
Right.
so all these matchups that involve Connor, who cares? All these matchups that involve Dricus, Sean Strickland. Do I want to see the fight? Yes. Is it going to blow my mind? No. Dustin Poirier, he's going back and forth. I mean, if we're talking about mind blowing matchups, fuck it. Habib versus George St. Pierre, middleweight. Would that blow
That'd
your
be
mind?
that would blow my mind. That would blow
That's
my mind.
mind blowing stuff right there.
But honestly, Habib coming back period would blow my mind. That would really blow my mind. But I think just Habib, man, for me, and I think a lot of people are with me on this. I'm such a big Habib fan. When he was fighting, he was my favorite fighter. So I would, and I kind of put it away like he's never coming back. So if he came back, and there's a lot of talk about him coming back, people might be dismissing it and like, oh, he said one thing, and now people, there's been a lot of statements. Islam talked about it in an interview. His coach Javier Mendez talked about it and alluded to the fact that he's coming back. And Habib has talked about it and saying how he misses it and that it's the only thing that gives him that specific feeling, which I'm sure you can relate to, and I cannot from personal experience. But so this has been talked about many, many times. And then Ali, who you train with occasionally, I'd love to know if you talk to him, but I'm guessing not. But he even made a big post about Habib potentially coming back and going on a triple title run to get the 185 belt, 170, and even light heavyweight, which is insane. But I mean, so a lot of people are talking about it. I don't think it's out of the realm. And last thing I'll say, some people are like, well, it's during Ramadan. It's not during Ramadan. Ramadan ends 4 days before UFC 300. So theoretically, if he's okay to train during Ramadan, which he might be, I know Bilal Muhammad has done that before. It's a possibility.
Here's the thing with Habib too is not every matchup with Habib excites me. You know, if they bring him back as this huge announcement and they give him like a number 10 guy or a 9 guy, it's like
No,
I
but they're
don't I
yeah.
don't want to. I mean, I don't. Here's the thing. I guess I'm salty because during my UFC stint, I was not given any favors. I was an plus 200 dog in every fucking fight. I was set up for failure from my first fight to my fifth fight. I was set up for failure. When guys like Habib come in that are 30-0 or 29-0, if he gets a gimme fight, I'm gonna be very disappointed in the UFC. Like this guy, I mean, they've given this guy plenty of matchups. He's proven time and time again how tough he is. He's a great fighter. I think he needs to fight a legit contender fighter, a good fight, a good matchup. Don't just go give him a fucking kickboxer. Don't give him Stephen Thompson, where he's gonna take down and wrestle fucking. Everyone's like, oh wow, that's so awesome. Like, I want to see this guy in a fight. and you look at a lot of his fights, and he's so dynamic and awesome at 155. Like, it was tough, man. I thought Gaethje was going to give him all he could, and he just couldn't. Maybe it was the time difference Gaethje talked about, but if he does come back, I'm hoping he fights a legit fighter and they don't give him a gimme fight.